Imagine it's the year 1241. A massive army appears on the eastern borders of Europe. They move faster than any force Europeans have ever seen. Cities are burned to the ground. Entire armies vanish in a matter of hours. No one knows where these warriors came from. Some believe they are demons. Others think they are God's punishment. Within months, the most powerful kingdoms in Europe are on the verge of collapse. These warriors were the Mongols, and this is the story of why Europe feared them more than any enemy in history. Before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories of ambition, power, and history. The Mongols originated from the vast grasslands of Mongolia. For generations, they lived as nomadic tribes, surviving in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Everything changed when a young man named Temujin united these tribes. The world would later know him as Genghis Khan. Under his leadership, the Mongols transformed into the most effective military force the world had ever seen. Every Mongol warrior was an expert horseman. Many learned to ride before they could properly walk. They could fire arrows with deadly accuracy while galloping at full speed. Unlike European knights, who depended on heavy armor and brute force, Mongol warriors relied on speed, discipline, and strategy. This gave them a terrifying advantage. By the early 1200s, the Mongols had conquered huge parts of Asia. But Europe had no idea that they would soon become the next target. After conquering vast territories across Asia and Eastern Europe, the Mongols turned their attention westward. In 1237, they launched a devastating campaign against the Russian principalities. One city after another fell. Resistance was crushed without mercy. Soon the Mongol armies stood at the gates of Europe. The kingdoms of Poland and Hungary believed they could stop the invasion. They were wrong. European rulers underestimated their enemy. They expected traditional battles against armies that fought according to familiar rules. The Mongols fought differently. They studied their enemies. They gathered intelligence. They planned every movement with incredible precision. Europe was about to learn a painful lesson. In April 1241, a large European army confronted the Mongols at the Battle of Legnica in Poland. The European forces included knights, soldiers, and noble warriors from several regions. At first, they felt confident. Then the Mongols began their attack. They used one of their favorite tactics, the fake retreat. Pretending to panic, they fled the battlefield. The European knights charged after them, but it was a trap. Once the Europeans were stretched out and disorganized, the Mongols turned around. Arrows rained down from every direction. Confusion spread. The European army was surrounded and destroyed. Only days later, another Mongol force crushed the Hungarian army at the Battle of Mohi. Two major European armies had been annihilated within a single week. Panic spread across the continent. If the Mongols continued west, who could stop them? The Mongols possessed advantages that Europe had never encountered before. First was speed. A Mongol army could travel incredible distances in a short time. Second was communication. They maintained one of the most advanced messenger networks in the world. Orders could travel across vast territories rapidly. Third was discipline. Every warrior knew exactly what to do during battle. And finally, there was fear. The Mongols deliberately used psychological warfare. Cities that resisted were often destroyed. Stories of these destructions spread ahead of the Mongol armies. Many places surrendered without a fight, simply because they were terrified. To Europeans, the Mongols seemed unstoppable. Their victories appeared almost supernatural. After defeating Poland and Hungary, the road into Central Europe seemed open. The Mongols were preparing for further campaigns. Many historians believe that large parts of Europe were vulnerable. Then something unexpected happened. News arrived that the Great Khan had died. According to Mongol tradition, important leaders had to return to participate in selecting a new ruler. The invasion slowed. Eventually, the Mongol armies withdrew. Europe had been saved not by military victory, but by events thousands of kilometers away. The Mongols never fully conquered Europe, but for a brief moment in history, they came closer than almost anyone realizes. They defeated Europe's strongest armies, terrified entire kingdoms, and proved that no power was invincible. Their legacy remains one of the most extraordinary military stories ever told, and it all began with warriors from the windswept plains of Mongolia. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the Knowledge Hub for more epic tales of history, power, and ambition. See you in the next video.